Hello and welcome to the show. We're taking today's recording from my desk, and of course, the kids are home, so expect to hear the usual interruptions in the background. Now, if this is your first time listening to the show, the goal of this show is free business education, so stick around because you might learn a thing or two. And if you find that you've gotten lots of value from it by the time you're done listening to the episode, please share, promote, or talk about the show so that your friends and family members in Nigeria and abroad can benefit from the questions that we tackle over here. And if you have further sales or marketing questions, then you can call, SMS, or WhatsApp me on 080 6466 2140. The country code is +234 for those of you who are not Nigerian. So today on the show, we are going to look at the question, what to do when your friend gets 15 million pounds. Yes, I repeat, what are you supposed to do when your friend gets 15 million pounds? And some of you are wondering, where did that come from and why? It's very simple. So this is the context. My friend, well, not really a friend, because we went to the same school together. I mean, at this point, he's more like an acquaintance. I mean, you know how it is. In university, you meet people, you guys chill out once in a while, interesting conversations, that sort of thing. But then you graduate, you get families, you move to different cities, and then, after time, you kind of fall apart. Now, Kayode runs an outfit called Caena, that is Caena, and I think they're in the analytics business, and they do fundraising for startups. So not just fundraising, but finance related stuff for startups. And he's based in the UK. So he's one of those people who didn't come back. So a bunch of us, moved out, did the masters, worked a bit, and then came back. But he's one of the people who stayed behind. Now, Kayode and I, the reason why we know each other is because back in the OAU days, I think he was in engineering department or something like that. So I was in law, and then, how it is now. I was in law, some people in Aki, some people in medicine, stuff like that. So I think I was one of those engineering people. And apart from going to OAU, we also worked together on a couple of committees. There was this body that we were both members of. That's the NFCS. That's the Nigerian Federation of Catholic Students. I'm not sure if it's still in existence anymore. So yeah, we both served on a couple of committees then. So, that's the backstory. That's how, over 2 decades ago, that's how, Kayode and I met. To be frank, I can't even remember how long it's been since we've known each other. So, one day I was just minding my business now, just chilling on LinkedIn, because that's the only social media that I have. And then I saw the news, live and direct, that Kayode had just exited his company, or he had been bought out in his company to the tune of 15 million pounds. And I repeat, 15 big ones, million pounds, not 50 million naira. I say million pounds. So, of course, once I saw it now, my reaction was like, correct. Kayode don't make up, Kayode don't cash out, And I thought, let me call him to congratulate him. Then I just said, no, let me just flash it. The phone is probably going to be busy, as the news has just dropped. So, people will just be bugging up his phone, that kind of thing. So I said, okay, I'll just holler the guy later now. Then, as I was minding my business now, then the thing just dawned on me. I now had a WTF moment. And I was like, 15 million pounds. I just brought out my phone. I just checked the calculator. Because I have the currency app. It's inbuilt into my phone. And I ran the numbers. And the number the thing gave me was 32.3 billion naira. I say, I say, no. I hit C, erased. I did the thing again, 50 million pounds. The number came back, 32.3 billion naira. It's then, I started having my own WTF moment. Some of you might be thinking, no, this is unrealistic. This kind of thing never happens. But actually, yeah, it does happen all the time. It's just the peculiarities of the naira in relation to the dollar and in relation to the pound. So there are people who raise money in dollars, get financing in dollars and in pounds, and then come and start businesses in Nigeria, which I think one of the reasons why fintech companies were the rage, a while back in Nigeria, because you can go to, America or the UK, you go and raise some small coins, you raise maybe like $5 million or something. But the thing is, by the time you raise 5M in dollars and you come and, you translate it into naira, the thing now becomes, huge. Now becomes, you understand now, as in huge. So it's one of these things. So don't say, no, it's not possible. These things don't happen. Yeah, they do happen. If all you have to do is pay attention to the right blog posts or subscribe to the right newsletters, you always hear about, oh, this Nigerian company, this Nigerian startup raised $10 million seed funding, or founder of so and so exits, $3 million, this, that. So it happens all the time. So it is doable, in case you're one of those people who think, oh no, these things don't happen. Anyway, so back to what I said now. Like I said, I was having my own WTF moment. Now, I remember that before Kayode left his job in investment banking and went into the startup, because it's something that he's been public about, and it's something that some of us talk about. His wifey was in support of him resigning to get the job. Oh, and by the way, this is a big thank you to wives, girlfriends, husbands, supportive spouses who get fully behind when someone decides that, okay, you know what, this is the business we're going to run, this is how we're going to do this, is how we're going to do that. I mean, there's some of you that are absolute troopers. You just go 100%, like, I'm your ride or die, we'll make this thing happen. So this is just to say thank you to you spouses that stand behind those of us who don't take the traditional career route. Yeah, let me put it that way. So that was my first WTF moment. I was now thinking, man, his wife supported him. He resigned. And man, that's a good ROI. Like 15 million pounds. That's good return on investment. 32 billion naira. That's some good cash. That's really good. So that was my first WTF moment. I was now thinking, where's my own ROI for my wife? I mean, like, Kayode has done this thing. Yeah, sure, it took a very long time. But the thing clicked eventually. And depending on how you look at it, my guy is 15M good in pounds or 32B good in naira. Now, of course, when these things happen, it's not as if they'll just drop the whole money inside your account like that. No. These things are, typically structured. Receive some cash up front. Maybe you now receive some company stock, and then there's some deferred payment here because they want you to remain on as a consultant or something. So whenever you see the headlines and you hear that your classmate just cashed out 50 million pounds, it's not as if they transferred 50 million pounds to his account. Bam. It means the total worth of everything is 15 million pounds, but it doesn't mean that that's all the cash you receive. So small cash will enter your hand, small bonus will come like this. This one will be deferred when you hit this milestone. This one, so there's a way that these things are structured. But the thing, Sha, is any which way. Any which way, Sha, it's not a bad deal. So that was my own WTF moment. I was now thinking, where's the ROI for my own wife now? And for people who have supported me in my own journey. And then I even started thinking, no, I'm the one that did this to myself. Because when I was younger, I really had a lack of focus. Going into law, it's not as if I decided. I kind of fell into law. The next thing you know, I'm doing photography. The next thing you know, I'm doing music production. The next thing you know, me and my brother were in this export business. And then next thing you know, I'm making documentaries. And I just say, Kai, it's my fault self. Why didn't I just stay and focus? And then I now started getting into anger issues, like serious anger issues. Like, I'm the one that did myself. But then, I remember the one sermon that I listened to a long time ago. Now, even though I'm Catholic, it doesn't stop me from listening to material from other preachers. And there's this guy that I like, T.D. Jakes, Bishop T.D. Jakes. Pastor, he writes books, and then he also does movies and stuff like that. I think he's a correct guy. If you're looking at things from an entrepreneurial point of view, I think T.D. Jakes, that's the guy to look to, because if I consider him more as a businessman than a pastor, to be honest, that's just the vibe I get from him. So I saw this material about where T.D. Jakes was talking about how at one period in his life, like, he was having some mad beef, like serious beef, serious jealousy issues, because he was staying there in his own small church, small congregation. Meanwhile, his people, his contemporaries, all of them building mega churches anyhow. Mega church here, expanding, 2 branch, 3 branch, 5 branch, each branch, mega church. And he said he was in a really bad spot. And so one day he just realized that he needed to just relax and free this thing. And so he prayed to God. I told God that, look, this guy is blowing, this guy is hammering, this guy is making it. Father, Lord, I thank you for their life, and I thank you for the blessings that all of them are enjoying. Continue to bless them, continue to progress them. But Father, as you progress them, me too, bless the work of my own hand, bless the work of my own hustle, so that in your own good time, my own will blow. And that was a simple prayer. The first time I heard it, the reason why it struck a chord in me was because, there are some people who will never admit to this, but for those of us who do, it's not an easy thing. So for TD Jakes to admit, it's not an easy thing. For me to admit, it's not an easy thing. Staying there, minding your own business, something happens to one of your boys, and of course you're happy. But then the WTF moment now sinks in. And you now start feeling one kind because somebody else is making progress. So if you're like me, and you're just chilling, and your classmate has gotten 15 million pounds, if you're one of those people who is prone to these sorts of feelings, I understand perfectly well. Just know that you're not alone. There's a couple of us who are dealing with these sorts of things. But when that happens, honestly, I really think the best thing we can do is just read and give it up to God. The Heavenly Father, guy, they don't make him, the guy don't harm her, 15 million pounds. Continue to bless him, continue to progress him, continue to move him forward. Continue to move him until he arrives at his promised land. But then me also, Heavenly Father, rid me of these feelings. Be with me. Help me. Grow me. Help me to become a better man. Of course, if you're a woman listening, help me to become a better woman. And then also, bless me for the work of my hands and prepare me so that I'm fully equipped, I'm fully prepared, and I'm ready for when you take me to the place that you are prepared for me. That's the most honest, most basic thing that you can do for those of you who have those feelings. For those of you who never have these kind of feelings, okay, no problem. I guess just turn off the episode then, or skip to another episode. Let me talk to people who go through these WTF moments. That's the best you can do. Thank God for the person's life. Ask God to continue to bless the person. Ask God to help you and to heal you. And then ask God to prepare you, to shape you, and to mold you for when your own time comes. Because the truth of the matter is, to build a startup to the level that other people are willing to say, oh, this thing is tight. Let me collect it from you while you collect 15 million pounds. It takes a lot. That's a whole level of discipline. It's a whole level of skill. There's a whole level of I know I talk about operating procedures a lot, but there's a whole lot of frameworks in place. Think about what it takes to build a team like that, where you're managing people, managing locations, managing inventory. It takes a lot. So that's the best you can do. Just pray. Ask God to keep blessing the person. Pray to God. Ask Him to bless you. Ask Him to keep working on you and to prepare you for when your own time comes. And then there's this thing about social media. Unfortunately, because we have social media now, the problem is a whole lot of us are having WTF moments every single month. That's the problem. It's not as if this thing hasn't always happened. It has. It's just that in the good old days, by the time you hear that Kyrie has, blown and has gotten 15 pounds, the thing is, you'd only hear it at a class reunion or something. You only hear that kind of gist maybe like once in a year. But because of social media now, everybody's connected and people are trying to, hype themselves, trying to blow themselves up. Everybody's putting up their highlight reel. We get to see these things every month or maybe every week. And so maybe that's just the problem now. So for some of us, we need to take it easy and maybe not consume social media that much. Or when we consume social media, we just take it with a grain of salt that everybody is just showing their own highlight reel. They're showing the best things. They're not showing necessarily the worst things. So maybe we should take some of these things with a pinch of salt. Anyway, the biggest clicker, the biggest thing at the end of the day was, remember I said when that news dropped on the internet, I said it was April 1st. It turns out the whole thing was an April Fool's joke after all. So Kayode did not make out with 15M. So no, he does not have 32.3 billion naira. But still, check out his stuff. Like I said, the company is Caena, Caena, Go and check him out. See the kind of things that he's into. If nothing else, I want those of you listening to this podcast to be inspired and to broaden your horizons. We Nigerians, we're sharp, we're smart, we're aggressive, we're go-getters. We're working in different fields, we're doing different things, we're all in different kinds of endeavors. So I always want people to go outside, go and see what we're doing, go and see what sharp boys, sharp babes, sharp girls, women are doing. So look at this company, look out there. Use social media the right way. You follow me on LinkedIn, follow people like him on LinkedIn. Small time, it will show suggested. You can also follow these headlines. Follow these kind of people as well. Open your eyes, broaden your horizons. See what we Nigerians are doing out there in the world, both home and abroad. But most important lesson is this. Yeah, he did April Fools on all of us. He doesn't have 15M. But the thing is, those of us who are like TD Jakes and me, who have these WTF moments, when you hear that somebody don't make the guy don't blow, the guy don't elevate, the guy don't transform, the guy don't materialize. You get into these WTF moments, whether it's April Fools or not. There's some work we need to do on ourselves. We need to get ready. With hard work, with patience, with perseverance, and with prayers, we'll get there. So that's why I made today's episode. Just in case you're like me, you just mind your business. Next thing you hear, that your guy now has 15 million pounds. And then you now fall into this is what you do. Anyway, so that's all for today, folks. If you've got questions that are sales and marketing related, of course, I didn't say anything sales or marketing related today. But even though the focus of this show is business education, typically I look at things from a sales and business development perspective. So who knows? Maybe one day if I run into Kayode, I might. I think I should do that. If I run into him, we should make that an interview session. I think it will be a good thing for you guys to hear. Not just the personal side, how did he decide? Because remember, when we talk about starting a business, the framework that I put over here is starting a business in 3 easy steps involve making sure you have the right idea, making sure that there's market demand or that the business is doable, it's feasible, and making sure that you can have the right selling framework around that idea. So it'd be nice to have a chat with him or some other individuals like him. So how did you decide? How did you know this was the right idea? How did you come up with the MVP? How did you achieve product market fit? How are you guys sure that there's market demand? How are you guys sure that this idea was going to work? How did you come up with the selling frameworks? How did you get your first set of 10 clients, 20, 30, 50, 100, 1,000? Yeah, that'll be a good conversation to have. Anyway, so if you have sales and marketing questions, then remember you can call, SMS, or WhatsApp me on 080-6466-2140. The country code is +234. So thank you very much for your time and attention. I'll catch you guys at the next episode. And God willing, no matter how long, hopefully we'll all get to the point where we can wake up one day, open our bank accounts, and see that we are 15 million pounds richer. So I'll catch you guys at the next episode.